Welcome to Policy on Demand's Week in Review. I'm Todd Metcalf.
What would you tell clients are your takeaways from this week?
The good news for the American people is that Congress is on its annual summer break away from Washington for the next few weeks, so taxpayers can breathe a bit easier until after Labor Day, at least. The bad news is that Congress left for recess with a lot of unfinished business needing resolution during what is a relatively brief work period between Labor Day and the end of the federal fiscal year on September 30. The appropriations committees in both chambers have done yeoman's work to report out the spending bills needed to keep the government open when current spending runs out on September 30th. However, there is a wide chasm between the respective spending postures of the Senate and House that could prove difficult to bridge before the deadline. The Senate has largely adhered on a strongly bipartisan basis to the spending agreement reached in connection with the debt limit deal earlier this year, while the House has diverged from that deal in favor of considerably lower spending levels across a number of accounts and included a number of social policy riders that always prove tricky to navigate. While there appears to be an obviously bipartisan path forward to avoiding a government shutdown, the fraught politics of the House may complicate achieving what should be an easy goal: uninterrupted government funding. Only time will tell which path is chosen.
Which question related to policy did you get asked the most, and how did you respond?
The most common question I heard this week is unsurprising. Will Congress finally get its act together and address a number of lingering tax issues? Whether it's R&D expensing, interest expense limits, bonus depreciation, 1099-K, or IRA catch-up contributions, taxpayers are focused on a number of tax policy issues on which there appears to be broad agreement, but either limited political will or urgency to resolve them. While it is far too early to be overly optimistic about a favorable resolution to these issues this year, there are positive signs of forward movement, both at the committee level and among the rank and file in both chambers. The groundwork is being laid, and there are increasing indications of a desire to avoid a repeat of last year's failure to launch. Again, much can happen between now and the end of the year, but the signs today are pointing more in the direction of legislative success than they have in a while.
Where should companies focus their attention in the coming week?
On the legislative and political horizon. Congress is in recess, and even though it looks like we may be in for a rough September on the spending front, as I said, on the tax front, the signs are more positive. Therefore, taxpayers need to continue to closely monitor what policymakers are doing and taking whatever steps they can to encourage members to find a way to overcome whatever hurdles stand between them and coming to consensus on tax legislation this year.